How did the State of the Union, SOTU, speech by President Biden go according to you? Watch it on C-SPAN if you haven't watched it yet. Don't listen to pundits. Watch it uncut and see Biden for yourself. www.vote.gov. Edit, C-SPAN link, https://www.youtube.com/live/7v01qvlqls?r0qfq4ig-nhgjjim. I found it funny that MTG wanted Biden to say the name of a woman that was murdered by an illegal immigrant, and he used her troll to point out that they wouldn't vote on an immigration reform bill. The rebuttal by Katie Britt was epic. It was like a Stephen King demon trying to reassure everyone she was human and not going to eat your liver when you fall asleep. Not being American, I'm not going to watch the entire thing. Still, maybe an interesting perspective for you guys. My Dutch newspaper was rather positive, calling him fiery, clear-eyed, passionate and combative. Biden was too loud, too rude, and relentlessly political. Republicans, who support the loudest, rudest, and most relentlessly political candidate ever. He did fine. Aside from occasional hiccups, I think it is a great speech. Even Mike Johnson agrees with a lot of his points. MTG is the typical clown, but looked like Biden was ready with a witty comeback. The Republican response afterward was pathetic, with bad acting and melodramatic over-the-top performance though. I've seen better performance from elementary school plays. I enjoyed it when his populist proposals were booed and he just smiled like checkmate. Made me feel like democracy is still breathing. I'm not an anxious person, but I found myself nervously thinking, please don't screw this up, my guy. He did well to mention that at one point he was called too young for the Senate. I had not heard him use that retort, but I thought it projected strength into one of his biggest weaknesses. It was good. He did great. Even went back and forth with some hecklers and stayed with it. I could only hope I'm that coherent when I'm his age. The rebuttal was comically a woman in a kitchen reading a teleprompter looking like a B-level actress, giving zero policy addresses and just instilling fear while trying to ignore the Trumpers killed a border deal. I was told Biden was a doddering old man, unable to string a sentence together. I want my money back. Rope-a-dope. After the commentary of the last month, I thought he would get lost on the way to the podium and not be able to put words together. Instead, Dark Brandon showed up with a flamethrower. And for nice contrast, it was followed by youthful Katie Britt in the weirdest political video I think I have ever seen. To summarize, looks like this old man has still got it. Dude fucking killed it. Even did crowd work and functionally called Republicans disingenuous idiots to their face. I know you can read. Fucking died. I thought he knocked it out of the park, and the cherry on top was the "oh I'm so scared" look he gave Marjorie Taylor Nuttjob when he came face to face with her. I'd actually started to worry that the voices like Ezra Klein were right. That he was hiding as he'd declined too much to campaign. Holy shit, that guy brought it. They was the rhetorical equivalent of floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. Even though I'm very much anti-Trump/MAGA, and I will vote for Biden again, I sometimes forget he's not the senile old man so many memes and media make him out to be. Tonight was a nice reminder of who he is. Completely normal presidential tenor and content from the pulpit. Coherent, politically correct, confident. It was nice to listen to a speech and hear solid leadership. Reassuring. I thought he did great. Marjorie looked ridiculous and an embarrassment to her party though. Her interruption backfired big time. The Supreme Court looked like a bunch of dumb fucks. I was very apprehensive that this was going to, in any way, make him look good. To my surprise, he did the best SOTU of his presidency. For the first time, I am feeling more confident in my decision in voting for him. Let's be honest, it's about the people he surrounds himself with, and I can't deny his cabinet has kept the country afloat when he was handed a shit sandwich. To be clear, I am not his super fan. But I am very concerned this country is pouring attention into psychos like the NC Gov that was just elected and all these other far-right extremists that just yell, capitalize on fear and attract attention, which attracts votes, so Biden better keep it together this year. It was the moment that utterly and definitively slayed any Biden is too old / has dementia narratives. No, he isn't. No, he doesn't. Tonight every major news organization is scrambling to grasp at Biden has too much earwax. Here's why that's bad for Biden. Straws next because they've got nothing else after that SOTU. It will also be remembered not only for how damn good it was, but how completely bizarre and out of touch the Republican rebuttal was afterwards. Seriously. Sending Karen to the kitchen and having her whine about her feelings. I could almost believe it was deliberate sabotage because nothing else makes sense. He absolutely crushed it. Will it sway any voters? No. Will it energize his base to vote? Absolutely. He did well overall. His energy, passion, and dedication to trying to do the best he can for all Americans came through despite his long-standing history of speech stutter and despite him being 81. He also showed he can lead, he showed he can navigate the political minefields of a divided governments, and he showed he isn't afraid to call people out and make a stand for what is right. I liked it. I went into thinking my man is going to be old and boring. Instead he came out swinging, and I ended with being pumped to fight to fascists. The most important thing was how he delivered it. I know how to recognize dementia, and this isn't it. It's great to once again have a president that can finish a sentence on the same train of thought he began it with. Heck, even just finish a full sentence. I think the president made a great speech. Made strong points supporting his progress thus far. Spoke strongly about what still needs to be done. Didn't seem sleepy to me. I want to raise teacher salaries. Well, yeah, so do I. Meanwhile in Tulsa, the city is voting on raising the mayor's salary from $110K/year to $190K. Because you know, inflation. Don't know, don't care. Biden could have drooled through the whole thing and I still wouldn't vote for a piece of shit like Trump. I think he did a good job. Lord knows I could not carry the weight that man has on his shoulders. There's things I disagree with him on, but he has my support and vote. I've been so fucking pissed about the government's political climate since 2016. I had no interest, and TBH, I clicked the live feed on accident. I was munching on some din din anyway, why not? I ended up watching what I think was most of it. I really hope they can pull it all off. Homie has a pretty good map for the future if they can pull it off. There's a lot stacked against that whole team on both fronts between the Middle East and, well, all that shit boomers hate. It was worth it to watch his takedown of SCOTUS alone. Far too long have those justices acted like they are above reproach, and it was sweet to see them scolded in front of the nation and have to sit there and take it. Joe Biden spoke for many of us in that moment, and I thank him for that. A lot better than this phony-ass acting performance of a Republican rebuttal going on right now. I thought the heckling was disrespectful, rude, and more suited to a bar. Considering the source, I continue to believe that's where the hecklers belong and not in Congress. Biden himself did well. I caught myself saying fuck yeah a couple of times. I thought he did really well. Contrasted himself with Mango Mussolini. Showed energy. Had quick comebacks for the hecklers. He seemed to be enjoying himself. I have missed this version of Joe Biden. I thought he did great, actually. It was nice seeing him with some real emotion, and for actually going after the GOP for once. All in all, solid SOTU. The GOP response with Katie whatever her name is, though. That was something else. Just awful. Did you see the Speaker of the House nod in disgust to everything Biden says? Dude was amazing tbh. I thought he did great. I think the mega tantrum is telling. He killed it, and they are pissed about it. You know, it was pretty good by how the GOP pivoted from their old, weak, and senile talking points to he was angry and loud.